For a while, my son has been telling me on his 2004 YZ450F that when he pulls in this clutch and the bike is running, the transmission isn't fully disengaging, meaning it will kind of creep forward. Now, it's been doing this for a while. It hasn't been a big deal. He's still able to ride it. But we're going to start troubleshooting this. We'll start by starting the bike up on this stand, and I'll put it in gear. Hopefully you can see what I mean. What we should see when the clutch is pulled in, you're going to see this back wheel still rotating. That's not what's supposed to happen. This problem and the solution could range from severe to simple. One of the potential problems in this situation is that there's something wrong with the clutch basket in here. Could be that the clutch basket has developed grooves, and so the plates are not fully disengaging when the clutch is pulled in. I've seen some videos on that and how to repair it. On the simple end, it could just be something as easy as an adjustment, either down here on the crankcase or the engine block, or an adjustment up here at the clutch lever itself. I started looking at the simple solution by figuring out if I could just adjust this cable. I could either do an adjustment here or up the clutch lever. And basically over time, some of these cables will stretch, and you essentially have to make the cable shorter in order to engage the mechanism. Well, as I got looking down here to try and figure out how to make that adjustment, I realized what our true problem was. As I pulled this rubber boot back, I could see that most of the strands in that cable were broken. So the problem and the solution is somewhere in the middle between severe and simple. We're going to replace that cable. We'll start by loosening this fitting right here. There's a split in this bracket actually underneath here, and so theoretically you might be able to get it out of there, but as I look, that clearance right there is not enough for that to come out. So I'm going to have to take this bracket off, or if I can get enough slack, I should be able to remove this end of the cable, remove this nut, and not have to worry about that. That's what I'm going to try first. We're real close, but I don't quite have enough slack to make that happen. So I'm going to loosen the clutch adjustment at the lever. That should give me just enough slack to be able to twist this cable, pull it over so that this will come up through that slot. So here at the clutch lever, we're just going to pull this dust boot back and turn this knob. This is how you would adjust your clutch. Get some fine-tuning, kind of on-the-fly adjustments. By turning this, maybe we'll get enough slack, maybe we won't. But this eventually has to come apart, so I'll probably end up just removing this clutch cable entirely up top. Then I'll have plenty of room down the bottom. You'll notice there's a split here. There's also a split in this sleeve, and that's how you get the cable into the lever mechanism. So when I get this loosened up, I'm going to line that split in this adjustment nut up with the split in this sleeve in order to remove this clutch lever and pull that cable out. I will tell you, there's never enough room to work on these newer bikes. They've got everything so slim and trim and tight. You may have to pull some things off. I think I'm going to have to pull off this hot start switch in order to get some clearance here that I can move this clutch and pull that cable out. Now, if I'm lucky enough, which I rarely am, I should be able to pull this cable out of that sleeve and hopefully slide it through here enough that I can just bend it slightly, and then it should just come out of there like that. Okay, we're back down here at the bottom, and hoping that I've got enough slack now in this line, I can just fish that out of there. Okay, we got it. So what appears to have started out as 6 strands that make up this cable, we're down to about 2, maybe 3 that are still intact on the end of that cable. So this is one of those things where had we gone any longer, he would have been without a clutch out in the middle of the boonies. Now there are ways to get home without a clutch, but we're not going to go into that. So we're going to get this off the rest of the way, get the new cable, and then we'll put it in. The old cable is on the right, the new cable is on the left. I like to compare these things off the bike so I can make sure that everything's lining up and everything's going to work out. You can see the only part that I need to salvage off the old setup is that dust boot. So once I peel that off, I can put it on the new one and just reverse the steps to install this. The manufacturer suggests you put cable lube in here before you install it. I don't have any, so we're going to do this without lubrication. We don't want it to be too smooth, right? Now I've got everything back together. I'm just going to make some adjustments here. Primarily, we're going to start by stretching this out a little bit. You can see we've got way too much slack here. So I'm going to adjust this tensioning nut until I've got about 1/16 of an inch or so of play here before it engages. So we're just about there. That's starting to feel pretty good. Well, replacing that clutch cable didn't fix the original problem, which was the transmission is still engaged even when the clutch is pulled in completely. I don't feel like it was a complete bust though, because that cable was in bad shape and it was just a matter of time before that broke. So that's done. We know that that's not the problem. The next thing to me is to pull that clutch cover off the other side, look at the clutch plates, the clutch basket, see what's going on over there. But that's enough for now. Thanks for watching.